Shout out to For Real TV. That's FA''REAL TV. This video brings a reminder. Does anybody remember Michelle Blair from Detroit, Michigan? She had 2 kids that were thrown in the deep freezer. One was killed, and I think the other one was killed later. And she claimed that somebody was raping her son. I'm going to find that video. We're going to watch that video. In the meantime, I want to peep out, show y'all what he brought to the table, because it's something that nobody really thought. Well, we're pretty sure a lot of people have, but I didn't. So, and I think what number is that at the top? There's a number on the top of that. Is that a number? What does that say? 8. Is that 895? Anyway, let's continue.
Alright, man, this is Kenneka case real quick. I just want to point something out. When the guy said she was frozen solid when he found her, and I'm assuming that was that first little blonde-haired, chubby cop that walked back there first, and then when he came out, y'all seen him on the radio. I'm assuming that's when. Alright, from that time till they put her on the gurney, she couldn't have been unfrozen, because it takes 2 days for these young kids that you're going to see in this Michelle Blair case. Took 2 days to unfreeze them, and they were frozen solid. And I'm assuming they did those 2 kids at the same time, seeing as how they took them out the freezer at the same time. So he said it took 2 days before he can do anything with them to unfreeze them. So what the fuck was these people doing in Kenneka Jenkins' case? Y'all check it out.
Negative. I have that subject in the kitchen in a freezer. She was frozen solid.
Alright, now that's what we heard. We heard, and once again,
examiner's office says it took 2 days to thaw the children's bodies before he could examine them. And what he found in the examiner's office says it took 2 days to thaw the children's bodies before he could examine them. And what he...
Alright, so a lot of people don't know the Michelle Blair case. So we're going to look up the Michelle Blair case, because I want to verify... Michelle Blair. My spelling is all fucked up. Okay, Detroit. Detroit. Okay, let's find a short one. Is it a short clip? Let me see if this is it.
More breaking news right now. The medical examiner has completed the autopsies on 2...
Hell no. We can't do it that way. I can't be like straight drop. Gotta show it to you the right way.
Children found stuffed in their mother's freezer.
Their deaths have been ruled a homicide. 7 investigator Jonathan Carlson joins us live from the family's home on the city's east side with the breaking developments. Jonathan.
Hey, good afternoon. Yeah, the mother remains in jail on $1 million bond. The prosecutor's office tells me that they needed that autopsy report so they can move ahead in the next couple of days on possible murder charges. Let me also show you the memorial that continues to grow here. This just shows you just how much this has impacted the community here. There is going to be a vigil coming up.
This is where I come into play. If you ever find the original story, man, I need to find the original story. That's what I need to find. Y'all give me a second. All right, here we go.
But y'all was never there for them. How many birthdays did you miss? Mikey, his ex-girlfriend, did more for him than any of y'all.
Mom, you have to stop. This is a hearing.
Fair use, ladies and gentlemen.
Y'all was never there for them. You want to put on a show for the news, though?
Mr. Dutch.
The mother charged with killing 2 of her children and hiding their bodies in a freezer lashes out during a custody hearing. Michelle Blair continuing to shout at the father of 2 of her kids as she's hauled out of the courtroom.
Today's hearing also revealed new details about how she...
Now, I want to go, let's go there, fuck it. This woman is mad at the father of those kids that were found in the deep freezer. And she was getting child support for those dead children. And she's mad at them because they are in court. Because you killed them. And you're mad at them because you killed your kids.
Allegedly abused her children. Fox 2's Charlie Lincoln with the latest.
The unsupervised There's no evidence in the record that he knew.
Unsupervised, he's never given a f about my daughters.
Just a moment, Mother. You're turning.
Never. Never.
Michelle Blair upset that the father of their oldest wants to see his 17-year-old daughter.
How many birthdays did you miss? Mikey, his ex-girlfriend, did more for him than any of y'all.
Mom, you have to stop. This is a hearing. Your attorney.
Joe was never there for them. You want to put on a show for the news, though?
Judge Joseph told her to stop.
And Linda Dorsey, you going to get on the news and say what's absurd? They were raping my kids.
If you can't, just be quiet until it's your turn.
It's like a damn fool y'all putting on that show.
Step out here for a minute. Step out. You gotta step.
You're raping my kids. Pathetic. What's wrong?
So you rape your kids, or they rape your kids, but you kill them. Which one is worse, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, both is bad, but I think the child could at least have some type of comfort, counseling through raping, but there's no counseling once murder has set in, okay? That's common logic, but let's keep going.
I tell the truth on that.
And what should have been a procedural hearing turned chaotic. And there's new allegations against mom filed today, allege that Blair wrapped a belt around 8-year-old Stephen's neck, lifting him off the ground, forced Stephen to drink window cleaner, and suffocated the child until he lost consciousness. Now, the hearing today was to determine whether or not both mom and the two dads should lose their parental rights. The issue for the judge is what's in the best.
You see that? Even in a situation, they found a way to say the mom and dad both need to lose parental rights. The dad is just here to save the day. And somehow the other children, well, no, let me rewind. I stand corrected. She was getting child support for those two dead children, but that particular guys that were there, they weren't the fathers of those two kids, if I'm correct. But the fact that they said the other kids that are alive, they felt like the father was still not the best choice. And you wonder why I say black women are the way they are. Because there's a system in place that puts them in a predicament where they don't have to have no repercussions. Even when you murder 2 of your kids, the other 2 can still stay away from the man that helped you give birth to them. This is proof.
Interests of the child. Mr. Berry, can you just talk to us how you're feeling today at all?
I had a chance to talk to you.
One father who was late and missed the hearing wouldn't talk.
You hear that? One father who was late. Again, they had to let y'all know he was late as if that was important. Kind of like the same shit y'all saying about Cassandra about the edited videos, and then they was like, her editing the videos is, you know, because she said she gave the relevant parts. So then it was like, what is the relevant part? Who is you to say something that's irrelevant? Just like this news. Well, why is him being late important to the news story? He's there, right? We're talking about 2 other dead kids and he wants his child that's alive.
But the other father did. Some people want to know why it's been years since you've seen.
I'm sorry, the other one did, but the other one was late. But they didn't even talk about if he showed up or not.
Kids.
Like I just said, she wouldn't let me.
What does your daughter say about the situation?
We don't talk about it.
What does your daughter say about her mother?
We don't talk about none of this. That's not what my daughter needs. It's over. My daughter don't need it. We don't talk about this. She going to school. She go grow up to be somebody. That's it.
The judge allowed both fathers to continue to have supervised visitation with their children.
He allowed both of the children to have supervised visitation with the men, and that's what made her mad. Out there killing the other 2 kids. Now, I didn't want this to be a long video, but I guess sometimes you have to just paint a perfect picture.
Until a June trial date, despite Michelle Blair's outbursts.
Y'all was never there for Stoney. Y'all want to hop on the news and act like y'all was.
Okay, I'm going to need you to keep it quiet.
I don't say I don't hate her, you know, so I can't hate her. She's the mother of my children, period, regardless, you know. Everybody else can hate her, but I can't hate her. She's the mother of my children.
In Detroit, Charlie Langton, Fox.
Michelle like a nigga I used to monkey flip with. I need to find the story where you can actually see.
Up tonight at 7 o'clock.
Hold on, y'all. Give me a second.
Those that didn't even know the 2 kids.
Hold on. I need to find the story where you can actually see the neighborhood. Where's the neighborhood? Is this it?
Pictures just into our newsroom.
Yeah, that's what the house looked like.
Over the head.
And then there's 9-year-old Steve.
Fuck it, let's go. We're gonna extend the video. Let's keep it going. Why not? Play. What the hell? 4G. Come on now. Get it together. Now let's start at the very top then. Maybe that'll work. Is that better? Alright, what if I just start it over? Cool.
Pictures just into our newsroom shows us the deplorable conditions Michelle Blair forced her children to live in.
But today, the medical examiner also revealed heartbreaking details about how Blair allegedly tortured her children before killing them. 7 Action News reporter Kimberly Craig is live in Detroit right now with details for us. Kim?
And Carolyn and Glenda, you talk about heartbreaking. This is probably one of the hardest cases I've had to sit through in my 20 years of reporting. And it was so sad to hear the medical examiner talk about how these children had been beaten and were so grossly malnourished, even the court reporter could be seen wiping away tears. These are photographs taken from inside the townhouse where investigators say Michelle Blair tortured her children and killed 2 of them. We're told she first killed her 9-year-old son.
Y'all see this house? Y'all see that? And they said the men need to have supervised visitation after the murder of 2 of the kids that aren't theirs. Unbelievable, isn't it? Don't tell me about no motherfucking black male privilege. I don't want to hear that shit.
Even in August of 2012, and then shoved his body in this freezer. About a year later, Blair is accused of killing her 13-year-old daughter, Stoney, and putting her body on top of Stephen's.
Both had been slapped in the face. Both of them had chipped teeth, and both of them had actual tears in the mucous membrane of the inner aspect of the lip.
Dr. Carl Schmidt from the Wayne County Medical Examiner's Office says it took 2 days to thaw the children's bodies before he could examine them, and what he found was nothing short of horrifying. On 13-year-old Stoney, he says the blows to her head were too many to count.
And actually, the entire scalp was suffused with hemorrhage, which meant that she had received numerous impacts over the head.
And then there's 9-year-old Stephen, who we're told had countless burns all over his body.
When we see burn patterns like this, it means that there was some kind of object with 4 parallel lines, which left the brand. It's like branding. You left that pattern on the skin.
In this custody trial, the state is trying to terminate Michelle Blair's parental rights to her 2 surviving children, as well as their father's rights. The state calling them...
They actually have to have a conversation about this shit. This shit has a debate whether she should have supervised visitation. This bitch. Black male privilege, huh? Huh? Even in murder, they still think you're a good option. Come on, man.
Deadbeat dads who rarely saw or even called to check in on their children to see if they were okay.
Like, well, that's her testimony. Like, why are y'all even thinking that that's a good thing to say, that she has an opinion at this point? Deadbeat dads. I think deadbeat dads come much more better than killing your children. Unbelievable.
Before he found out his son had been killed, it had been 5 years since Stephen Berry had seen his son Stephen. Berry was locked up for a couple of those years, but he was released from prison in the spring of 2013. And he says Michelle Blair only let him see their youngest son and told him Stephen was mad at him. What he didn't know was that Stephen was already dead.
I didn't speak to him at all after my incarceration.
Why?
Because I was told that he was mad at me.
They even said allegedly killed, as if they don't know. But I understand, this is court.
For not contacting him or, being there.
And that just adds to the heartache for these children. They had been dead for 2 to 3 years, and not even their own fathers fought to see them or even talk to them. But now they are...
They told you that once, and they told you that again in this news report. You notice something? No matter what, women have an opinion even when you kill your children. No matter what. They brought that up twice. They wanted to make sure that stuck on your brain. that she said they were deadbeat dads who didn't do anything for their children. And all I can say is this. These men are here. So you can't say they're there for the wrong intentions. I mean, think about it. They didn't care. They would have never showed up. Unbelievable.
Blaming apparently CPS, Child Protective Services, for not removing the children in 2005 when CPS actually found and determined there to be abuse in the house. One of the fathers, Carolyn tells me, the father of Stoney Blair, says he now plans on suing the state.
Kim, real quick, I mean, we just saw her sitting there stone-faced, no outbreaks today. She seemed so violent and volatile yesterday when she was in that courtroom.
She had a couple of outbursts. Really, they were rather ridden with expletives, so we couldn't really. It would have been a lot of beeping going on, but nothing as violent as yesterday. But you can see when she is sitting there and when she is listening to testimony that she is very angry. She still maintains that she has love for her two surviving children. She says she will always be their mother, but she does not acknowledge the life or death of the two dead children. Back to you.
All right, Kim, I know it's a tough case to cover because it's a tough for us to hear.
Sometimes you gotta laugh at the news. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you're a black woman and you're a woman in general watching this, you ought to be shocked that no matter what you do, they will still feel like your opinion matters. And if you notice, the black woman right here, the way she's saying it, she was angry. She didn't say she had a temper. She didn't say she was angry, but she's angry for the wrong reason. But I understand you got to do journalism. You got to do a news report, and you have to cater to her opinion. This is what it's about. This entire shit that I just showed you was catering to her opinion about her fathers, about how she loves her kids, and about the kids that so-called allegedly she killed. Which she has been sentenced for this shit. I need to find the story. Where's the story? I want to find the story where the people, I want to hear the testimony.
Disturbing new developments tonight as we learn more information about the two children found.
Let me see, is this it?
Reasons for it. Now, as Michelle Blair confesses to some of these reasons, we're learning why and how she says that she did it. I want to warn everyone that some of these details are graphic and may be difficult to hear. Outside the three-bedroom East Side Detroit townhome of 35-year-old Michelle Blair, messages of love.
I want y'all to look at this picture, all right?
Graphic and may be difficult to hear. Outside the three-bedroom East Side Detroit townhome of 35.
All right, I want y'all to look good look at this picture, right? Now that other chick you just saw in the court, cause she's still not all that great looking, but yeah, she looked totally different. So that's to let you know, makeup and weave will just really do wonders for a motherfucker. Like, come on, like for real. Cause I remember when I first seen this story, I was like, that's not the same chick, is she?
5-year-old Michelle Blair, messages of love and prayers to her two young children.
Messages of love and prayer, and I want y'all to think about something when this is over.
She admits to killing and hiding in a freezer. Stoney Blair, who would be 15 now, and Stephen Barry, who would be 11 years old now. Their bodies discovered Tuesday morning.
The facade that she had was loving, and caring, like she loved her children.
Blair arrested Tuesday now.
You see that?
She killed her two kids after bailiffs planning to evict Blair Tuesday discovered the bodies in a deep chest freezer in her dining room.
Every time you saw her, she always had a smile on her face.
Upon arrest, sources close to the investigation say Blair admits she killed her two kids because she caught them sexually assaulting their younger brother, who is now 8 in protective custody with his 17-year-old sister, who friends say may have known what Blair had done, but were too afraid to say anything.
When you're scared, you're scared. And that's their mother. What goes in this house stays in this house.
Sources say Blair pulled her children out of school years ago because she wanted to homeschool them, telling family and friends who hadn't seen Stoney or Stephen in a while that they were, quote, doing mean things to their younger brother, like taking his food and, quote, raping him. So she says she sent them away.
She said that she was there with her aunt, so we're out of town, so It's not my place to question them, your kids.
Blair, according to sources, says...
Now, I want you to know something. It was her and the other girl, and many women around this neighborhood never questioned, never asked, where are your kids? The other two that we used to see. How are they doing? Did y'all ever step foot? Listen, you can't tell me that those women have not stepped foot in that woman's home and saw the same imagery we saw in those photos. You mean to tell me they never stepped foot in her home? They never kicked her with a smoked drink? You haven't? You mean to tell me that those women care so much they writing all on the front door and we miss you, we love you, and y'all never stepped foot in this home? Y'all didn't know, y'all didn't ask? Yo, where's those other two kids we used to see playing all the time? Because remember, it had to be one, and then the next one just didn't come up. So she told y'all, oh, they just gone. This goes to show that no matter what's going on around you, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna end it. Watch these motherfuckers on the internet that got children, because what I learned is a lot of these people live double lives. They're abusing their kids. They're doing all type of nasty shit to their kids and talk about homeschooling. Did you understand that that woman said she's homeschooling her children while killing children, while living in nasty? That is beyond nasty. Your home shouldn't even look like that after a party. The sink. You couldn't even run water in this sink. This is gross. This is the most disgusting shit ever. Women naturally should be clean individuals. For some reason, this situation should have never been, like, I can understand if the house was clean. This house was filthy. Nobody never came by. Nobody used a key, because, you know, she's renting an apartment, so it's a townhome. So if anybody ever come by and spray and just say, hey, can we come check out your air filter? Do you have any air problems? Do you have any problem with your electricity? I mean, you got to understand how sick this shit is. Getting child support for dead children. They ain't even really mentioned that in the story. Kind of downplayed that shit, you know? But I went left field with this shit because I just had to bring this back up because this is one of the videos I did. And I remember doing this one. So, you know, shout out to everybody that I got the sources from. Jay Miller, Real Hater, sub to him. Forgot the other channel, but whatever's in my video, sub to them. Shout out to For Real TV. Sub to him. I'm put the original link to the very beginning video about the 2 hours being defrosted. But I just thought I'd just go ahead and just go the fuck in. So, man. So, back to the question. If they didn't throw her body out, let's say 4 or 5 hours, because I know the child wasn't on a gurney. What, 4 hours they say? Because it was like 5:30-ish or 6 o'clock is when they supposed to have gotten her out the hotel. So who's doing an autopsy at 10 a.m.? Shouldn't y'all be questioning this shit? Alright. Checking in, checking out.